Welcome everyone to the Grand Finale of the first edition of the Transatlantic Debating Championship. I would like to very briefly thank the people who made this possible. First of all, the teams coming from Yale University, from Princeton University, representing Cambridge, and from Sciences Po Polytechnique as well. Secondly, the sponsors, the American Embassy, the American Chamber of Commerce in France, the French Debating Association, here presided by Mr. Declan McCavanagh, Guggenheim Partners Suisse. Also thank the juries who collaborated with us yesterday for the semifinals, and the Minister Counselor of the British Embassy who is here in the jury tonight. Thank you very much. So just enjoy, and let's hope it takes place next year again. Thank you, bye.
Thank you very much, Ian Silecki, who is indeed the organizer and founder of this wonderful tournament. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my job to be the moderator or chairman of this evening's debate. That is to say that I am the one who's supposed to keep you in good order should you get out of order. Now, as it happens, in the style of debating you're about to witness, which is called French Debating Association style, or the Paris Fives, the audience is also allowed to participate, and I'll explain that in a moment. So we like to hear the audience actually being here. We like to have you warm, alive, and with us. Are you warm, alive, and with us? Well, I'm glad to hear it. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it was once said that the only thing that North America and Europe have in common is the Atlantic. I am delighted to say that there is one more thing now, and that is the Transatlantic, thanks to Ian and his team. So please give Ian and his team a round of applause. You know, ladies and gentlemen, France and the United Kingdom, France and the United States, we are friends. We're members of the same big family. We've had our spats, we've had our lovers' quarrels, but I'm sure you'd agree that ultimately, and as this tournament has proved, ultimately between friends or between lovers, between members of the same family, we all come together after a discussion, after a sharing of ideas, after a debate, or as we like to call it in France, a joute oratoire, a jousting, in fact, as it's referred to in this country, a friendly rivalry leading to mutual benefit. And I think that that is what this particular tournament is all about, and I hope that's what this final will be about this evening. There is a story that you perhaps know that in heaven, the French would be the cooks and the lovers, that the British would be the civil servants and the police, and that the United States, the Americans, would be the economists and the socializers. That's what it's supposed to be like in heaven. But in hell, ladies and gentlemen, what can you imagine it would be like? Well, there are lots of answers, but in my opinion, hell would be a place where there are no debaters, because debaters do it better, ladies and gentlemen. And to prove that this evening, we have 10 of not only the old continent, not only the new continent, but of the world's finest orators before us. And they're going to show us that they can do it better. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to begin with the cream of American debaters on my left and your right, the team from Yale. They are ably led by the leader of the opposition, because they will be opposing the motion, and that is Ms. Kristen Briggs. Their second speaker to oppose the motion, Ms. Meredith Potter. Third speaker, Mr. Max Tovala. Fourth speaker, Mr. Naz El Khatib. And the final speaker on their team, and therefore the final speaker on the opposition, and consequently the final official speaker of this evening's debate, Mr. Nate Blevins. So on the opposition, we have the cream of US debaters. On the proposition, we have the crème de la crème of French debaters. They are led by this evening's Prime Minister for the original first speaker that you will be seeing this evening to propose the motion from the École Polytechnique, Mr. Rémy Leblond. Playing on home ground here this evening at Sciences Po, from Sciences Po, the Chancellor of the Exchequer, Mr. Jules Proutot. Also on home ground here at Sciences Po, the third speaker, Ms. Joanna Buchter. The fourth speaker from the École Polytechnique, Mr. Omar Dob. And their final speaker to round it up for the government side, for the proposition side, from the École Polytechnique, Mr. Sylvain Caron. Right, ladies and gentlemen, now they are the gladiators who are going to provide us with the spectacle this evening. But please spare a thought for three other gladiators who are sitting here at the front and who have the most difficult job of all this evening. So give them a very warm welcome. The three members of the jury, ladies and gentlemen. We have the Cultural Affairs Officer of the United States Embassy, Mr. Rafiq Mansour. Minister Consular from the British Embassy, Mr. Hugo Shorter. And please give a very special welcome to your own Vice President, to your own Deputy Director, the Deputy Director, Directeur Adjoint here at Sciences Po, Mr. Francis Verriot. Okay, members of the jury and ladies and gentlemen of the House, what are we looking forward to? What are we to expect? Well, the debate this evening will take the format of, as I said before, the Paris 5 tradition. Paris 5 tradition, obviously because we have two teams of 5. The first speaker for the government, the Prime Minister, will come forward and will speak for 6 minutes, followed by the leader of the opposition, then the second speaker on the government, second speaker on the opposition. Now, the speakers are speaking on the motion for this evening, which is this House believes that Obama should not care about Europe. Am I correct? We have the wording exact. Okay. And the members of the proposition will defend that motion for 6 minutes each.